Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into tonight's stream. Tonight we're going to be playing the Pathfinder bear build, and I think I may have broken it. It is utterly, insanely strong at the moment. How it's going to scale into endgame, I don't know. But currently I'm level 59, or 60, 59, 60, and it's hitting really, really hard now. I'd like to say that this build has been sponsored by Shisby because I spent an absolute mini fortune on it just to kind of like optimize. I'm trying to really push the damage on it so far. Resistance is a crap. It's okay. Life is high, 2,470, which isn't bad for a level 59 character. We've got 784 strength, which is what I'm stacking for damage and also life. And the build is revolving around, which is a wheel build. So for those that don't know, the builds on this channel are spun on a wheel, and this one was locked as Talisman, so we can get the bear in. But Pathfinder was the class, and then the skill or the attack to use or fight or use, the predominant one, is the Ferocious Roar, which is a buff skill. It's a war cry. But speccing in Corrupting Cry, we're allowed to, well, it basically means that we can do 25% of your strength as physical damage per second. So I have focused on that quite easy, really, because all we got to do is focus on strength, focus on physical damage, and just stack it as much as possible. And we've ended up so far with a big skill, a big amount of damage. Let me just go into the hideout so you can see this, because at the end of the last stream we were looking at this Corrupted Raw, and it was I think we got it to like 600. All right, and I've been pushing it more and more, so it's now up to 1,856 damage a second, and we can stack 10 of those. So that's pretty good, right? I mean, that's quite a lot of damage a second. And it's not on a cooldown. It's kind of in a cooldown initially, but we kind of bypass the cooldown. I will show you quickly before we go over the build with it now, because I kind of feel like, you guys want to see it, and then we can go through the build and the loadout and the synergy I've got going with all the gear and stuff like that. I'm in Halton Estate. In fact, I'll go out of Halton Estate because a bit more open and you can see it a bit better. So basically, we're just going to raw, and then we got a slam and we got a blood mark, but generally, we're just going to raw. And that is the build. that is the build. One raw, and we can slam for good measure as well. Do another one.
An easy trophy.
Easy peasy. That's basically it. And we can scale it a little bit more with more strength and more physical damage. But yeah, we just go raw. That is only with 2 corrupted bloods on. I just want to point that out. We can have 10 of these loaded up. So yeah, it's hitting pretty hard, which is good. And if we want to slap, we can slap. We can slam. Do a nice big juicy slam. So yeah, it's good. Now, it's not perfect, this build, at the moment. There is survival issues. The fact that we have 0 resistances, like 17, 18, 54 and 0. We can balance that out over time with gear. But at the moment, we've got the synergy working. We've got endurance charges that pop quite a lot, and we're able to slam. And then we've got Bloodhound's mark as well. Can add a little bit of extra stuff going on. But yeah, it's good. I'm really enjoying this build. It's cost a small little fortune to do. But let's go through the build. Let's go through the loadout. Let's go through the synergy. In fact, I'll go to the hideout, because then we can see the stats and bonuses, stuff like that, and go from there. Now, Pathfinder is, I suppose, Pathfinder is instrumental in getting the synergy working with endurance charges, and I'll start there. So I'm using the Red Flares Conduit, which basically allows me to gain power charge on hit. 20% chance to gain a power charge on hit. A hit is basically, well, it's a non-dot. A hit is a non-dot. However, with the Seismic Cry, this counts as a hit. So I can actually get hit with Seismic Cry, which means that we can start the ball rolling with the power charges going. As soon as we get more power charges and we get a group of enemies, then we can get more power charges, which means that we can do this cooldown that's on an 8-second cooldown. Gets it's irrelevant, and then we can just start stacking on the Seismic Cry or the Ferocious Roar, which is the war cry, right? So to do that, we need to be over here on the resonance on the skill tree. Now, because we start at the Pathfinder side of it, we're able to go across and pick that up, and then we can head over to the left-hand side, because obviously we've got the path of the warrior. Means that we can choose. You can choose where you start. You can start up here. You can start down here. We've chosen to start this side, which means we can go over and pick all this lovely stuff up, like the sharpening cores for 30% increased physical damage, where shapeshifted, battle feeder, more physical damage, skill speed. We've got the endurance charges ones over here, so recover 3% of maximum life for endurance charges consumed, +1 to endurance charges. There's another one for endurance charges here, which is gain additional 10% to gain additional endurance charge, again, which is nice, 1 to max. And then we got the armor with endurance charges when we consume it. We're consuming endurance charges a lot. Indeed, Paul, indeed, hello mate, I am cooking. The wheel has definitely spoken. So the great thing about this build, it focuses on minimal parts for damage. So it's basically strength and physical. Those are the two main things to focus on. The more strength, the more damage. The more physical, the more damage. So to do this, all you got to do is just type in physical, and we can see where those nodes are. So there's over here, for example, there's 25% increased physical. There's a 40% down here. That'd be a good one to go for. We've got weirdly, the extra physical damage doesn't really work on that. I have tested that one. We've got a 20% there. We've got a 20% there. Over here, we've got 25% physical. So these really do help. And then obviously with the jewels as well, we get the global physical damage. Again, that's more boosting. We did this at the end of the last stream. We actually went through and changed from poison onto physical damage. So that's good. And yeah, so at the moment, this is the loadout. I've got to split both sides like a TIE fighter build. This is what, you've got one side of the TIE fighter, another side of the TIE fighter. And what have we got up here? We've got the constriction, so we've got 25% increased damage. Very simple when you look at it. This one down here, Bestial Rage, gain 1 rage on melee hit. Each 10 rage also grants 12% increased physical damage. Another one to go for, 30 rage, is going to give me 36 physical damage. Pretty good. All right, so as far as the build goes, or the pathing goes, that's quite easy. I have switched off everywhere on toxicity, and I've actually put on running assault, which is really nice. I don't trip over now, which is great. We've got more skill speed, unaffected by slows, and then I've taken off Traveler's Wisdom. The 5% of damage is less than 5 strength for this build, so I pulled off that. Obviously, strength is life as well, so that's kind of important. We get 2 extra passive points there, as well as we get 4 extra passive points for Path of the Warrior, and then I've just stacked 1 in life flasks. So yeah. The other one I've got is Agonizing Calamity, which is 40% increased chaos. 40% physical damage when I'm using by Herald of Blood, and we have got Herald of Blood on. It's, I don't know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pathing away. So if I can get another 40% to kind of help, I don't know, if I can get physical somewhere else for that, I don't know. But at the moment we're only level 59, so we've got quite a few points to go before we eating into the end game of that. The gear, let's go to the gear very quickly. So gear, I've just stacked in. Everything is, the reason why my resistances are low is because everything's got plus 10 to strength in on the sockets. So 10, 10, 10. I bought items with 3 or 2 in, so 10, 10, 10. And then, yeah, everything's got 10 in. So the helmet, I've gone for the Black Sun Crest. This increases strength by 14%. It's max 15%. I've gone for 14% on this because it's a bit cheaper. And then in dexterity and intelligence actually does increase because I've got Jack of all trades on as well. Astromomentus Stellar Amulet for 120 to all attributes plus 8 to attributes, so that's 128. That's pretty solid, you know. It's good. We can vow that as well. Might do that at the end. Obviously the red flare conduit. This is for the power charges. I do have on this one actually the recovery of 4% maximum mana when you consume power charges. I don't consume power charges. I would like some more mana. Mana can be a bit of an issue at times on this build. Not gonna lie, gonna try and build into that this stream. Headhunter, this cheap belt, you know, nice cheap 40 divine belt, whatever it was. I did say we're sponsored by Shisby this stream. 42 strength plus 11 strength gives us a decent amount of strength, and we've got maximum life as well, dexterity, and then we get when you kill a rare monster, you gain modifiers 6 seconds. I mean, there are other belts out there that will give you strength. I was mainly interested in strength, but you know, Headhunter, hey ho. You may as well. Empire's Graph Titan Mitts. This is probably the strongest one here because you get 60% increased global physical damage plus life per enemy killed. I would like mana. I did have the culling one on, which was quite good, but I think this does more damage. So we've gone for more damage on this. Oh, 3 sockets as well. Strength. The Talisman. It's only level 55. I've gone for strength. I would like to go for mana leech. As I say, we've got mana issues, so I've got sockets in the mana. I would want to get the runes out and put strength runes in, ideally, to an extra 20 more strength, and then get mana leech and mana on kill, possibly. I just haven't got that yet. We can sort that out later on. Jewelry, strength, and then resistances, basically. Pretty much it. We could go for mana leech on this. Might be useful to do that. But again, I'm only level 52, level 56 on these. I need to wait until I level up a bit before I can get higher gear. I think at this point, I don't need more damage. I can just race through the campaign now, get it done, and then we can get to high level and then actually start speccing high-end gear. Currently level 54, 56. The rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 uniques. I think this build is okay to do 5 uniques because of obviously the damage and the strength kind of go hand in hand. You get survivability as well as damage. Resistances, hopefully I'll be able to get enough resistances on boots and jewelry or rings. Possibly could switch out gloves later on down the line for more resistances. I don't know. We'll see about that. Now, onto the skills themselves. I'm still fiddling around with the best combination for this. I don't know what it is. At the moment, the Ferocious Roar, Seismic Cry, the physical damage on the Seismic Cry is useful. That allows me to then create 2 Corrupted Bloods because I get 1 for the Cry itself and then I get 1 from the hit. Which you'll notice they always have 2. If I take that off, they always get 1. And also I'm able to, I don't know, with the extra hit, I can actually put poison into the build, or I can put bleed onto the build if I so want to, which is why I left it in. I think if I take it out, I do a lot. The roar is pretty much the complete screen, but I don't get that extra hit. The extra hit. Also, if you see. If I'm in the details of the Ferocious Roar, it says 1175 for the Corrupted Blood, but if I actually click on the move backwards and forwards and click off onto it, it then goes up to the 1856. So it's a bit misleading that you have to kind of click backwards and forwards, which means Swift Affliction, which supported skills deal 30% more non-ailment damage over time. Corrupted Blood is a non-damage ailment over time. Take that out, I do less. It's 1428. Stick that in, we've got more. It's 1856. However, if you just stick it in, it doesn't go up. It doesn't show it goes up. So you don't get if you put it in, it goes up. There's nothing. Actually, it does do something. 1856. Take it out. 1428. So it does do something. This is something that I've realise if you click across, it then shows the increase in damage, which is important, right? Because we want that the 1856. It's huge. I've gone for Perpetual Charge at the moment because I want to keep my endurance charges up so I can spam more damage. That I will probably pull out of at some point. Raging Cry, so I get 4 rage per power of enemy in range. What I could do is put the plus 45% in there to get more range, and I get more rage. Rage is kind of important. It will be important when I socket the that node that gives me a Bestial Rage every 10 rage gives me 12 increased physical, so that'll be increased on that. But also it allows my slam to be enraged and therefore do more damage. So I spend that 10 rage, which is kind of what I want to be able to feed rage. I could put bleed on here, so then I would be able to proc the bleed passives wherever they rip and the hemocrystals, but I've decided not to at this stage. I put bleed on the slam, and then we can use the maul to kind of proc those instead. Yeah, so obviously the main one is the Ferocious Roar. I've got Herald of Blood on because Herald of Blood actually works on blood loss, not necessarily bleed. So the blood loss from the Corrupted Cry will proc Herald of Blood. Don't necessarily need bleed in that, which means that we get then this chain going along with Herald of Blood doing bleed, poison, corrosion, and Bursting Plague. Bursting Plague is the key one for this one to kind of like have that chain reaction going. I've also stuck in Mana Leech on that because it does, which is good. So then we get like this Mana Leech explosion going out, which then helps with my sustain. Again, mana issues, right? Lingering Illusion is the dodge that if that gets hit, then and I pick up the remnant, then I get a endurance charge. It is a power charge, but power charges converts endurance charges. That's really good, and that just keeps me going. I could actually stick remnants in there. That would be useful because I can pick those up from afar. I'm going to do that now. Sorry, I've just noticed that. So because it's a remnant skill. And I could do with that. The Ghost Bear. The Ghost Bear is good. I've also got Vitality in. That 2% extra is quite useful. Do we need duration on that? I probably don't need duration. Maybe not. I'm going to stick that in there for now. We could go for less cost. The cost is negligible. I mean, it's what is it? It's the illusion itself is costing me. I think it's 10 mana. It costs 10 mana. Probably. Let's try 10 mana. It's going to cost me 10 mana. If it's going to be breaking, we can put that one back in. Don't think it will. So we've got Ferocious Roar. We can spam that obviously when we can start getting rolling with the endurance charges. Ferocious Slam. We've got deep cuts for bleed, more bleed. Armor Explosion. I don't even know why I got Armor Explosion in there. We could put something else in there actually. Something more bleed related. And then AoE because it's got quite a decent AoE. It's this one here, that Slam. Again, I haven't fully chosen what I'm going to stick in this one. Let's have a look. Bleed. Anything bleed related? Oh, I don't know. What do we? I don't know what to do. Bugger it. I'll put Armor Explosion back in. I haven't thought about that. Anyway, there's stuff to be played with that Ferocious Slam. AoE, mana. I'm just stuck in mana at the moment. Blood Marks, +1 to physical. Mark for Death. So armor break. Marks from skills are not consumed for the first time they activate, so we keep that going. Great for bossing. I don't really use this apart from bosses. Mark siphoning, so to get to leech, and then stun because there's a stun related to that. So mark a target, making them suffer heavy stun build up from blood loss. If they suffer enough blood loss, the blood will activate, consuming itself and releasing an explosion of blood when they are killed or heavy stun. The mark duration does not expire while the marked target is suffering blood loss. So that should stay on them all the time, really. Heavy blood loss helps to stun. And then really the other one is maul. I think when I get 80 and unlock another one. This could be a replacement for the slam because it's a bit faster attack, and we can get the bleed off that. But the slam's quite good for the AoE. And I think that's it at the moment. It's fun, and it's been expensive and fun. I've enjoyed it, and now I want to get through the campaign and finish it, and then get into maps. And I think maps are literally just going to run around and basically scream, and then just keep going.
I'm not ready.
And there's a lot of that not ready we're going until we get our endurance charges procced. So yeah, if you guys want to join in now's the time. We can go.